The book idea began with my Christmas novella, The Yuletide Angel, when my hero needed a problem so he could grow. I created a brother, Kit Barnes, and a rift between them caused by what else, a woman. The more I wrote about Kit, the more I knew he needed a story of his own. Besides, I became curious about Joanna, who was the woman that came between them. A Reluctant Melody takes place 7 years after that rift and a year and a half after the Yuletide Angel story. In A Reluctant Melody, Kit is given an opportunity to open a ministry for drunkards in a North Carolina town. The problem comes when the property best suited for his ministry belongs to the woman he once loved and rejected. After all he put her through, Joanna has no intention of selling to him until a blackmailer threatens to reveal her most shameful secret. So, will she or won't she? You'll just have to read the story to find out. But right now, I'm going to read a portion of a scene in chapter 6. This is where Kit and Joanna first connect after the 7 years. As Kit Barnes stood on the other side of the threshold, memory after memory rushed through Joanna's mind in a humiliating flow more powerful than she had experienced in Perry's office and the days since. Vivid images, tingling senses, and grief, mind-numbing grief. The feather duster clattered to the floor. She struggled to drag in a breath, and an absurd thought jumped to the forefront. To him, she must look like a fish dying on desert sands. On the other hand, from his parted lips, pale face, and heaving chest, she surmised Kit fought his own battle to catch his breath. When he found his voice, he managed to sputter a feeble Joanna Cranston. He had not recognized her in Perry's office after all. She swallowed, but it failed to ease her dry throat, and she almost choked when uttering the word Stewart. I beg your pardon? Once the initial shock wore off, Joanna realized that she still dealt by Annie's side. Looking up at Kit put her at a disadvantage, so she pushed to her feet and steeled herself to deal with him as a mature adult, a widow, not the naive young woman of 7 years ago. It's Joanna Stewart. She pronounced each word slowly and with feigned confidence. Or if you prefer, Mrs. Clayton Stewart. Kit's slackened jaw clenched, and his icy blue gaze hardened. A gaze that lacked the red, glassy effect she had noticed often during their short time together. Regardless of his recklessness in those days, he had been charming and striking in looks, only 2 years older than her. Standing before her today, he had come of age and devastated Joanna with a clean-shaven and sober appearance, a square jaw and stubborn chin. The only blemishes to his attractiveness were the yellowing bruise at the side of his face and the ferocity in the stare that held her awestruck. You knew me when I walked into Perry's office on Tuesday, didn't you? Why hide and pretend to be ill? Because I had no desire to see or speak with you. If I had known you were interested in my home, I would never have agreed to meeting you in the first place. Why do you think I asked Perry to contact you today? You were to deal with him, not me. From the top of the paper collar and up, his skin reddened with outrage until the color matched the deep blush of her favorite rose. Wherever she went from here, she'd never plant another such bush and let it forever remind her of him. He crossed the threshold and stopped within a foot of her. She squelched the instinct to retreat. Hot breath fanned her face as he said, If I had known who owned this place, Mrs. Stewart, I would have canceled the meeting myself. If you're interested in how Kit and Joanna's story ends, the book is available on Amazon, both in Kindle and print version, and on my publisher's website at store.lpcbooks.com. Happy reading.